So I founded Veronica's Voice because of my own experience of being trapped 24 years in the life of prostitution, which started at the age of 12, and I didn't get completely out till I was 36. My first real human connection was with a girl named Veronica Neverdusky, and I met her here in Kansas City, and she would follow me around, and she just loved to talk. And so one day she was following me around talking, and she said something that really made me pause and really clicked something in my brain. And she said why she was out there. And it made me think, wow, this is me all over again. And how many other women and girls have I known all these years that have the same background? Unfortunately, Veronica was murdered the week she turned 21 years old. I just wanted to reach back to help girls and women like myself that were experiencing this, that were very misunderstood by society and very misunderstood by the people in the neighborhoods that see them, and just throughout history how the brunt of all of the negativity falls on the woman and not on the men that buy her. And no one understands the woman is not the one with the choice in the situation. It is those with the disposable income that purchase her. And so I just really wanted to do something, and I started doing that. Ended up working back at a place where I got my job skills from, and told my story to Sister Linda Roth, who's a sister of Charity of Leavenworth. And a couple weeks later, I got a phone call that the Sisters of Charity were giving $25,000 to start something for prostituted women. And so that's really how it was born. And I named it Veronica after my friend and the loss of her that was really impactful in my life. While society saw her as trash, the man who killed her saw her as trash, she was not trash. She mattered.
The mission of Veronica's Voice is to empower women to exit from, to prevent the entry into, and to end all demand for commercial sexual exploitation through survivor leadership. And the way that we are accomplishing our goals today, we have a home in Kansas City, Kansas called Magdalene KC, where 5 women live in community without any authority in the house. In that home, we also provide educational classes, we provide trauma counseling and occupational therapy and the job skills training that is needed to help the women to dig deep and to see who they are inside, the greatness that has been lying dormant as they were surviving the daily abuses of commercial sexual exploitation. That is why our home is 2 years rent-free. Just to give them the time and the space that they need to invest in themselves and to experience deep healing. We're also providing a job skills training program where they have the opportunity to be part of building a business that ultimately will create jobs. And this is called a Just Cause. So the women under Kristy's leadership, they are building a business and creating products for a beautiful environment in the home. And in this way, continuing to extend out to the community that this whole mission is about healing and about wholeness. It is very difficult for an individual that has experienced years of trauma to be able to enter the workplace and to be able to keep up with the rigor of full-time employment. And by creating our own jobs, we can do that in a trauma-informed, recovery-supportive environment that empowers the women to be successful in the job place. The other part of Veronica's Voice is the voice. It is our voice of advocacy. We have been proponents of policy that actually gives criminal relief to survivors of commercial sexual exploitation, that holds accountable the buyers of sex acts, and assures that we have quality services available, while at the same time addressing some of the larger issues in our society that allow this crime to flourish and that leaves people vulnerable. So we have this continual pipeline going into commercial sexual exploitation. Our model is called the Equality Model. We are partnered with other organizations across the nation and around the world to implement this model.
Being a part of a survivor organization that is like survivor-led, caseworkers are survivors, people who answered the crisis line were survivors, people who did the outreach were survivors. Like at first you wouldn't think that that is super important, but it was super important, especially for a lot of women who've been cast out by other organizations. There's nothing more rewarding than coming up and out of the life and then turning around and helping somebody else to do the same. I still hear all the time from women. They talk about where they are in their lives, and they talk about what Veronica's voice meant to them and how it changed them and how it gave them the strength, or it built them up enough to change their lives. So if 20 years ago, Kristy hadn't made the decision to turn around and help another survivor up and out of the life, where would a lot of us be today, you know?
The future is looking very bright for Veronica's Voice. We have a tremendously committed board. We have an expanded empowerment board, and we also have a mighty team of volunteers who have made very deep and personal commitments to the accomplishment of our mission. We are expanding our buyer's education program, and it'll be implemented on both the Kansas and the Missouri sides of the state line, creating cross-jurisdictional collaboration. And then also we are looking towards buying another property to help us to expand our social enterprise and grow that business. And we're also going to be continuing to partner at the state and local levels to implement policies that will continue to provide relief to survivors, to provide expanded services, and to grow a housing program where when the women graduate from Magdalene KC, they will have affordable housing ready and waiting for them. The reason that we need to continue to stay passionate and committed to the mission of Veronica's Voice is there are so many people who are out there, they are still hurting. They still do not have a place to call home. We need to daily commit to creating the safety net that when people are falling through the cracks, they have a place to turn that will fight for them and that will help them to be able to access the support and to have the community that they belong in. If we are not that community, then nobody will be that community. So she is a person. Her life matters. She deserves to have a community where she belongs. The exploitation is not her fault, and it is on us to be her community. Ignorant and stagnant communities see a prostitute.
Informed and educated communities see a victim.
Responsive and courageous communities make a difference. Join us in making a difference.